this one. My name is Bastian Lossen. I'm the CEO of Werthstein. We are a digital wealth manager. We started 1.5 years ago, and not in a very scientific way. Actually, the founders of the company were just frustrated with their own finances. We all coming out of jobs, so we made a little bit more than we could spend, but not really enough to be wealthy enough to be really attractive for a wealth manager. And when we then leaned to the established banks, there was not really much available. It was very costly and not really good. And if we go to the digital space, there were a lot of robo-advisors which had interesting models, very interesting, but fundamentally boring and not really engaging. So that's how we built Werthstein, and that's how the company was started. So, yeah. We are, as said, we were founded last year in 2016. Built the holding company here in Switzerland, where I'm still based, but then decided, due to regulation, to move our operational base into the European Union. So our operational office is now in Munich, and we acquired in Munich a BaFin license as an asset manager, with the benefit, obviously, to do European passporting and grow internationally, and also sell into Switzerland, which is an interesting fact for those who want to start something there. Regulation allows actually to sell into Switzerland based on a European license with currently no restrictions. So that's a quite interesting fact. We are growing our team in Munich, Frankfurt, Paris, and London. That sounds very big, and it has to do with one feature which we have invented, which is a Werthstein Institute, gathering a lot of experts, bringing content and engagement to our clients. And how this is done, I will show you in a second. That's the so-called Werthstein Institute. We launched our first product this summer, Werthstein Thoughts, with the virtual version of the product, onboarding clients every day, and have now finalized the bank integration into our custodian partner, which is Bader Bank in Munich. And we'll have now started friends and family, have a couple of accounts open, start onboarding 1-2 people every day, and then we'll open up especially the Thoughts user base, which is now at 700, to also bring into our product. With this, we are now trying to something which might work or might not work, showing a video with a microphone.
No matter whether driverless cars, the trend towards e-health, interesting regions like the Indian subcontinent, or the green yield as a sustainable addition to your portfolio, Werthstein makes the trends of the times, the so-called zeitgeists, investable for you with just one click.
Look, I mean, I read in the Wall Street Journal or whatever, Wirtschaftswoche, a really interesting article about driverless cars or batteries, but I can't invest. And it's even the same if I go on the internet, I look on my tablet. Again, I'm just frustrated. I read that article, but then I can't put my money into it. But with Werthstein, I read the article, I watch the video, and at the end, I just press the button and I can invest.
Building your personal portfolio is as easy as answering 2 questions. Which risk level do you feel comfortable with? And which zeitgeists do you want to follow? Are you an open-minded person with many interests who also believes in opportunities for attractive returns? In that case, the medium risk class 3 might be right for you. The basic portfolio in this risk class includes a broadly diversified investment in bond and equity funds, which we can adapt to current market conditions without you having to do anything at all. In addition, Werthstein offers you the opportunity to choose the so-called zeitgeists, with which you can adapt your portfolio according to your personal interests and convictions. Our technology always ensures that your portfolio is in line with the risk you're comfortable with.
Risks are relatively limited.
The Werthstein Institute helps us choose these zeitgeists. The well-known and independent experts from the worlds of finance, science and consulting discuss interesting growth trends and vote regularly on two mutually opposed trend
My
themes.
vote goes to India.
Only one of them can be the new zeitgeist.
Well, now my vote goes to India.
This gives you, in just a few minutes, an entertaining overview of important topics for your portfolio. In our portfolio management, the zeitgeists are created and made investable for our customers. The zeitgeists are established with the appropriate financial instruments that you can invest in so as to benefit from this trend.
Typically, our Zeitgeist investments are mapped either by several matching ETFs or by a collection of individual stocks.
On your smartphone, you have the opportunity to adapt your investment portfolio simply and reliably to your needs, anytime, anywhere. For example, you can add a new topic or give less weight to an existing zeitgeist. Would you like to take a closer look at the portfolio and the zeitgeists? If so, you can test the method free of charge with a virtual portfolio.
So that gives you a quick run through. Next slide, please. What we're doing, so we are basically a robo-advisor with engagement. So what you do is you build a base portfolio as a standard robo-advisor does, but then we give you, through the Werthstein Institute, the face of a private bank where you can really relate to and get these investment ideas and advice, which you can then also execute on and add to your portfolio, which we actually do then as switches from your base portfolio in these specific themes. We also have a lot of news on the platform, so we also give you global outlooks on a monthly basis. We give you updates on a weekly basis, so you can really engage with the platform and learn what's happening in the market whenever you want. And if you don't want it, we manage the risks for you, and you can completely delegate this thing. We are currently launching in Germany. We will then enter Switzerland and planning to be in 10 markets by 2022 and approximately achieving then 50 million in positive cash flow. Founders team, myself, my background is in private banking marketing. I was head of marketing of Credit Suisse for everything outside of Switzerland. Then my colleague and co-founder is Felix. He runs our operations and finance. He was a chief operating officer of a German private bank. And then we have Giles Keating, who's chairing the institute and is leading this institute. And he was he's a former chief economist of Credit Suisse. Next slide, please. So quickly showing you how this goes, very short on the client experience bit. So if you start this video quickly. Same thing down there.
Egal ob Wellnessurlaub für den Hund oder Gourmetfutter für die Katze und auch egal ob Herrchen oder Frauchen, den Besitzern von Haustieren geht es eben immer nur so gut wie dem tierischen Lebensbegleiter selbst. Und diese Liebe lassen sich die Besitzer einiges kosten. Das ist schlecht fürs eigene Portemonnaie, aber gut für die Unternehmen, die daran verdienen. Und die wiederum sind interessant für Investoren.
So, if you click again, this is a 3-4 minute video which talks about cats and dogs as one of our investment themes, which you can invest in. And actually, can you click? Click? No, just next slide.
Next slide, all right.
Yeah, sorry. So this would be then a feature into our platform. You would have these themes here, and for example, you would have the cats and dogs. You can also have this in German, tierische Freunde. And if you then think, hey, I also have a cat myself, and this is maybe a good idea to invest in, then you can just press the Add to Your Portfolio button, click again. And then we will calculate the risk optimal amount of this specific theme based on all of your investments which you have already within your portfolio and your risk profile, and we'll calculate this. The execution of this one will be, in this case, stock-based, but it can also be fund-based. So stock-based means that we have selected, I think, 15 shares for this specific theme, which will then be traded against your base portfolio. So we'll, in this case here, we will sell part of your risky assets, maybe increase a little bit your non-risky assets, and then buy this stock basket. If you press the button and then you click again, here would be an overview how you see your portfolio. You don't really see a lot of products which you don't understand anyway, but you really see the themes and how this is mixing. The gray part would be still your base portfolio, and that's a quite diversified theme portfolio here. Obviously, we would also give you transparency on all the different titles and instruments, but what we see in client feedback, what we see now is nobody really cares. They really like the themes and then they engage on that level. Next one. Target group for this one, as I said in the beginning, it's these people, the affluent, lower high net worth people who have a little bit more to spend, who want to delegate their wealth management, but still want to be a little bit engaged, have some talk in the evening about their new driverless cars investment, and that's the people we want to engage here. Next one, please. Last slide, also on the business case, we have a little bit different revenue model than others. We're actually offering this service for a subscription fee, which is flat, independent from the assets, independent from the number of transactions. That's 57 euros per month for the bank integrated product. And our custody partner, Baader Bank, charges an additional 25 basis points flat on the assets. So with this one, if you really do the price calculation from an incumbent bank, we get cheaper at around 50,000 euros bankable assets with us. And in the digital space, we are very competitive, starting from 100,000 plus. The clients we have now won over the last couple of weeks and months, they're starting approximately 75% with 100,000 euros plus. See this more as a private banking light solution compared to robo-advisors, which I think are in the range between 10 and 40,000 euros. Last one. We are currently raising in our Series A. Product development is finished. We are now ready to launch into the market. We need some marketing power to bring this into the market. We're raising 5 million euros. If there's anybody interested, we'll be very happy to have a discussion with you. We're also looking for partners, additional partners, especially in the content space. Not only banks and insurance companies, but especially phone companies would be one bit. We would love to have our content on Swisscom TV and engage clients through the box and let them do their investments with one click. But also we're currently discussing, also which I didn't expect, with Deutsche Bahn, a partnership to bring the content into their trains where they want to engage and entertain clients on the platform. So if there's anybody interested, please get in touch and sign up on werthstein.com. Thank you very much.
Questions? Any questions from the audience for Bastian?
Give me at least one.
We do have one from Harald.
Yeah.
You said product development is done, but how much insights do you have so far into the customer feedback?
Not so much. I mean, what we do is, I just did a series of interviews with current users, and I just shared at lunch as one interview was where we asked somebody in the range between 60 and 65 years old. She has a 250,000 euro portfolio. Why she invested into cats and dogs? And her first feedback was, you know, Mr. Lawson, Mr. Risse, the guy you saw, he's really a nice guy. So, I mean, that's the first thing which I think is quite astonishing how people engage with such a platform. And the second thing was that she said this video was really interesting because it just confirmed my fear that the markets are very high evaluated. And if I think about myself, who is in love with his own pets, I would not let my pet starve. So it was, I think, the right idea to push the button. So we're engaging really on an emotional level, and that's the feedback which we're currently getting in a consistent manner. People really learning something here.
Andreas.
How do you acquire your customers?
We acquire our customers on the B2C level through mostly online marketing and content corporations. We have a couple of content corporations already signed up. We are a strategic partner of Finanzen Verlag in Germany. That's the former Axel Springer Business Media, who's syndicating our content within their print and online media and give us through this reach and then traffic back to our platform. We are a partner of CNBC. They're on Squawk Box. Once a month we have Giles on television. We are a partner of Wall Street Online, where we publish our videos. Also, it's all free of charge, obviously, for them and for us, because they need the content. We deliver the content. So the main core reason to come to us is content based. Also, we did a couple of tests with Display Network. Compared to my old employer, we achieved much better rates there through the content engagement. Again, also Google didn't really understand how this was possible. We win visitors to our platform for 60 Rappen, which I think is quite astonishing compared to at least what I knew from my old employer there. And we believe that it's really through the client engagement on the content side, because also our banner advertising, our search strategies, all around the content strategies attached to these videos, the articles, the infographics.
Bernard?
Just say a bit more about who creates the
Yeah, it's actually our own portfolio management who creates them, and there's, from the Werthstein Institute, the different people can all give input if they have ideas, but then it's the zeitgeist is vetted. First of all, do we really see a trend line which is somehow positive? Second thing is it investable? I mean, one zeitgeist, for example, you'll find on the platform is space travel. And there's very interesting companies like SpaceX, but you can't really invest into them. So there we're looking then at indirect possibilities. So vendors and suppliers to these kind of industries and select the individual stocks there and then build the weighting. And there's some other also data feeds. Bloomberg is offering something on how likely is it this company still exists in 3 years. This is all done. Then we build the start portfolio. We as Werthstein, our portfolio management does. And this is also rebalanced on a quarterly basis, especially with the tech ones, which we have a couple of them because I think the most interesting and engaging ones. We had to also sometimes rebalance these, which we can do through our license without even asking the client about these kind of transactions and what we also do. And I think also that's something what our client would not want to do and would not understand what's happening there. It's really there, I would say, space is great. I see Elon Musk talking about this one. I want to have part of this, so I press this button, but I don't want to be worried about what are the right instruments to be invested in. We are not incentivized by the product providers nor the companies we invest in. It's just this flat fee, which again gives our clients comfort that if they press a button, we really do build these themes in their interest.
Great. We had a question from Ralph, I think it is, in the back.
Yes. Who's the guy, the digital marketing guy in your team? Because you have to spend millions now for gaining customers.
Yeah, I mean, my background obviously is quite marketing rated. I mean, I was a marketing MD for Credit Suisse outside of Switzerland. So there we did a lot in digital, but I also have to say that we are learning a lot through the journey. But I'm running this in partnership with other vendors who help me build the strategy.
One last quick one. Yes, in the middle.
I don't have to figure out the positions how to get exposed to, but will I see what the positions are and will I see
Yes.
the possible of my portfolio?
Yeah. You will see all of this if you want to. But again, tests have shown now that we actually moved it in the product development phase. We moved it further and further down because people were not really engaging with it. The only people who really look at this are bankers. And also bankers we talk to who look at the portfolio construction, but the major part of our clients is not so interested. But if you want to see it, it's completely transparent on the platform. So get to Werthstein, sign up to the Werthstein letter, and you will be invited a couple of hours later to use the platform Werthstein Thoughts, which is currently lifelong free.
Great. Thank you, Bastian. Cheers.